Okay? Jessica Farrar, the lady who holds that seat right now, lives 11 houses down from me on my same street. I've known this lady for 17 over 20 years being in that office. I am a guy that will tell you what she has and what she has not done for the community. I'm here to also share with you that we have a great guy who has a lot of passion. He has a lot of fire in the belly. He says, you know what? I want to come in and I want to do what needs to be done. We have a candidate named Chris Carmona that is not afraid to say if it's not right, it's wrong. And if it's wrong, it's not right. Unlike the candidate that's in there right now, Jessica Farrar. That lady, I tell you what, man, it's kind of like one of those deals where minimum. We need to change it up in Austin. Would you guys agree? Yeah. There you go. Whoop, whoop. Chris Carmona is serious, not curious about doing what it takes. Now, Chris is going to come up here, and one of the things he's going to share with you is about how he feels about education. And here's the deal about education. You listening, Chris? Because I know you're this kind of guy. It has been written several times in history. A man is who he is in his own castle. In order to see the real man, you can't visit him at church. You can't visit him in the marketplace. You want to see the real man? You visit him at home. We have an education crisis here in Texas. It is important. We lead in so many key areas. But in education, we need to be doing a better job. Chris Carmona is the kind of guy that will get out there and say, you know what? I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves and come and visit and discuss this at home. What do I mean by that? We can continue to keep doing what we've always done and continue to call for meeting after meeting after meeting. I personally have heard Jessica Farrar talk about her solution about the education crisis in Texas at a LULAC meeting, and it was nothing to write home about, send a postcard about, because there really wasn't any solution. The solution is we need guys who really care, that are willing to roll up their sleeves and say, you know what, let me come and visit with you on your front porch. It's called the 80-20 rule. So if you sit there and you call a meeting at the schoolhouse, we all know that 80% of them aren't going to show up. Only the ones that truly care. You know, the ones who are going to go ahead and graduate high school in the state of Texas is the parents and the grandparents that are saying, hey, look, mijo, mija, this is how you do it. We're going to get you all the way through until you graduate. It's one of our biggest challenges. Chris Carmona is a man that says, you know what? This is not out of anything that you're asking me to do. He's not afraid to literally come and visit and listen and validate the concerns of the people on your front porch and say, hey, it is important that you graduate high school. That's the kind of representatives that we need, the ones that aren't afraid to take it to the home. That's where it starts, that's where it belongs, and that is what is most important. Wouldn't you guys agree? Yeah. So when we have a candidate that is literally, hey, I'm willing to step up and do something about it, what does he need? He needs support from other like-minded individuals that share that passion that the candidate has done an outstanding job in saying, this is my vision. This is where I want to go for the people. More importantly, we need someone that will listen and validate those concerns. Chris Carmona is the man that will do that. He has that heart and that passion to represent you and me and do it in an effective way. So that's what's going to make a difference. That's what's going to be a big difference between Chris Carmona and who's already in that seat. Wouldn't you guys agree? It's time to change it up. Well, Chris Carmona is the man. So what does he need from you? He needs support in a way of, this is crunch time. This is the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Is it not, Chris? Last minute. There you go. Well, guess what? Chris has got some good news for you. Because as we all know, there's more points put on a scoreboard in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And so for such a time as this, he's willing to step up and get the job done. But all we got to do is volunteer with our time. Now, speaking of time, how much time do we have? We have 1,440 minutes in the day. My question to you is, how much time can you give Chris Carmona? Because Chris Carmona is willing to give so much of his time to serve you and me in a way that's going to make a difference for our community. Our finances. Man, we need finances right now to do this last little push. If you're able to come in and literally work at the polls, man, I'll tell you what, I know Bert's been doing a great job. He's always out there. This man's got passion, fire, and I'll tell you what, he has a lot of enthusiasm for his candidates. So if you have those characteristics as well, you say, you know what, I can be just like Bert. Man, I can get excited about this candidate, because we need to give people a reason why to vote and cast that ballot. When? Today. How many of us have email? Raise your hand, please. Social media. You have a cell phone. So many people that you know are already in District 148, because District 148 is a good size and good portion of our city. Jessica Farrar already knows that this seat can be taken away from her just like that, because Chris is the kind of guy that's always sent the message out that failure is not an option. He is coming to take that seat. So we need a man that covers every inch of ground that he stands on in Austin, Texas, as he is representing Houston. So without further ado, it is my joy, it is my honor to literally introduce this guy who's a good family man. He understands law, he understands business, and more importantly, he knows and understands you. Chris Carmona for District 1.
Best place for y'all. First of all, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you to the HRLC for hosting this fundraiser for myself. It's a true honor and privilege to be the first candidate that this group has endorsed and had a fundraiser for this election cycle. So again, thank y'all for having me. Thank you for y'all's confidence in this race. You know, Tex said a lot of things, and Tex said a lot of things that really matter and that really hit home. Because for the first time in a long time, we have an opportunity to go into a Democrat stronghold and not just take it, but make a huge statement of what matters to us as a community, what matters to us as a group of individuals, what happens to us as a state. You know, I'm running against the most liberal state legislator in the state of Texas. And a lot of people say, oh, it's bad enough just to be liberal. You know, if you're liberal, you're a bad person, you're evil, you're a demon. But it's not liberal in itself that makes someone bad. It's the policies, the proposals, the programs that someone proposes year after year, decade after decade, in the case of Jessica Farrar, that makes her such a terrible legislator. Right here I have in my hand the Constitution. Everybody's familiar with it, right? Everybody's read it at least once, maybe twice. But would y'all agree that everything matters that's in this book? Every word, every sentence, every paragraph, every amendment was purposely put together for a specific reason. So that the government knew what it could and could not do to impede upon the personal liberties and freedoms of every citizen of the United States of America. Today we see this Constitution being thrown away, being tossed to the side, being overlooked, being trampled upon, being ripped apart. And everybody says, oh, well, that's just Obama. That's just at a national level. It's not. We see it at a local level. We see it at a state level. And it's those types of policies that are putting our future in jeopardy. When we have a government that suppresses entrepreneurs, when we have a government that has its nose in everything we do in our personal lives, when we have a government that has taken away the opportunities for us to be successful and to achieve what we like to call the American dream, Texas, we have a problem. Again, my name's Chris Carmona, and I'm sure y'all know that, and I know that's why y'all are here. But I need y'all to get that out there. I need y'all to email, Facebook, tweet every single person y'all know and have them do the same thing. Because District 148 is in trouble. The state average poverty rate is 17%, and District 148 is 25.5%. Poverty is a huge issue, a huge thing, a huge problem that we have to deal with to make sure we have successful neighborhoods, successful communities, and a successful future. You know, there's just a study released, I believe 2 days ago, a survey that said that 87% of all Texans believe that parental choice in education is the only way and the best way for us to leave out of poverty. Now, with 25.5% poverty rate in our district, that's one of the highest in the state of Texas. I advocate for parental choice in education and the granting of opportunity scholarships day in and day out. If everybody's heard me speak on education, I know that's true to my core, but I believe we must provide alternatives in a failing situation. Now, people mistake that for saying that we need to eradicate the public school system. That's not what they're saying. It's not what I'm saying. I'm a product of the public schools. My daughters, both of them, go to a public school. But we cannot afford to let our problems become the problems of our children with regards to failing institutions when alternatives do exist in the form of our charter schools, private schools, and vocational training schools. And we must find a way to incorporate those two together. Right now there's a beautiful thing going on in the Spring Branch area. Northbrook High School and Yes Prep have come together, and they're using private school resources and public school infrastructure to build successful graduating classes. And that's what we're proposing. Ideas like this, innovations. Innovative minds, creative minds produce success. But we can't do that when we have someone who, year after year, continues to focus more on animal safety and animal cruelty than education and the children of our future.
Amen.
You know, while some people in Austin believe that terminating a child's life up to a year old is the most pressing issue, I know that's far from what matters most in this community. Neighborhood to neighborhood, block by block, everyone's saying the same thing. We need true, authentic leadership who will listen to our concerns. True, authentic leadership that will listen to what we deem as compelling causes. And with those compelling causes, we have parental choice in education, lower property taxes. And one of the things that's near and dear to my heart is, granting greater access to women victims of domestic violence. These are the things that matter in our day-to-day lives. These are the things that matter to our neighborhoods. These are the things that are mattering to our children. But we can't do this alone. If we want the same old obstructionist, someone who's going to continue to put their thumb down on any type of entrepreneur, any type of small business that wants to be successful in this district, then by all means, promote the other person. Continue the same downtrodden that we're going on right now. But if y'all want someone who's going to bring a breath of fresh air, new light, new vision, new hope, then I humbly ask for your support. And I humbly ask for you and everybody else get involved with this campaign. We have less than 2 weeks left in this campaign. 2 weeks to make a difference. We're doing great out there. We have some of the strongest and most dedicated volunteers that anyone can find. 2 of them here, 3 of them here, right here in front of us. But they can't do it alone. It's not just a campaign versus campaign that we're in right now. The Chris Carmona campaign is up against the Democrat establishment at this point. We're up against not only Jessica Farr, we're up against Sylvia Garcia, we're up against Adrian Garcia, we're up against the Harris County Young Democrats, we're up against Harris County Democratic Party, and most and foremost, we're also up against Battleground, Texas. I'd like to say, and I want to be confident and say, we can handle them all. We just start a campaign, but we can't. And the campaign doesn't have enough funds to go out and hire more and more people to be able to battle them. So the more volunteers we have, the greater chance of success that we have with this campaign. You know, there's a survey online right now of which of the challengers facing an incumbent has the greatest success of defeating the incumbent. I'm happy to report that we're number one on that list on that survey. There may be polls out there that have different sets of numbers and different data collecting methods. We're not looking at those polls. The only polls we're looking at are the ones people are going to cast their votes. Because when we're going there, we're talking to people, it's making sense. They thought they wanted to make a decision, but we talked to them, explained why they're making a bad decision. They're flipping their votes. They voted for Chris Carmona. They're coming back out. They're volunteering for the campaign, and now they have their friends involved at the same time. And that's how we're going to win this seat. So friends, again, I ask you, 1787. Go ahead, I like that read. To think back to when the United States was in a time of suppression, we fought back. We won. We became independent. We formed what we called the Constitution. Codified it to what we have today. Amended over and over again. But the same principles stand behind it. We must protect our liberties, our freedoms, and our opportunities to become our own people and our own person, our own families. And without your help, we can't do that initial one for you. Again, I'm Chris Carmona, and I'm humbly asking for your support, your vote. Thank you all again for having me tonight.
Everybody, if we could what you give tonight. So I'm here to make the ask, and I know we've got envelopes that are being passed out, and it's this simple. I mean, I counted here between who's coming and going. We've got about 20 people at this table. If each one of you were to give $50, where's the math? $1,000 right there. Eric Dick, that's $1,000. I'm giving $500. That's $3,000 that we can raise here right now if you'll commit. That's between now and the election. If anybody here drinks Starbucks, if you just skip Starbucks between now and the election, you can easily afford that $50. That's what we're asking you to do. You know, and Chris got up here and Tex got up here and they talked about high ideals and the things that you can do in the legislature and the reasons that we're involved in the political process, the reason that Chris is involved in the political process. And all that's legit. But I'm not necessarily up here to ask you to give money to candidate Carmona. I'm up here to ask you to support our friend Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is our friend. There's not a person at this table that's picked up the phone and called Chris and asked for his help or his advice for him to show up that he hasn't done it. Chris is our friend. This is not just someone running for office. This is our friend that has put his name out there, put his net out there, made the sweat equity, made the cash investment, into serving the public, serving you. So I'm asking you right now, Eric Dick's made a very generous offer. He's matching it. So you understand, you give $50, that's $100. That's a good return on your investment. I'm putting in $500. So there you go, folks. So can you match it? Can you match that? Can this table match that? And I'm asking you to do it right now. Chris, he's over there chatting. Again, like I said, I'm not asking you to give money to a political campaign. I'm asking you to give money to support our friend, Chris Carmona. So, plus I also paid for the appetizers, so all of you are saving about $5 a piece right there. So there you go. There's one day down. I'm asking you to take care of the other 9. Thank you very much for joining up, Eat Up. Chris, we love you, man. Thanks for all that you've done for each one of us in the cause.
Thank you, Bill, for that. And thank you for the appetizers. That's very nice of you. Now, everybody, we've raised a few $100s. Whatever you contribute is going to help us a lot. And thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy your food, and see you next time.
Yeah, that'll work.
if you don't have like cash or a check or anything that's applicable to this right here, if you go to our Facebook page, the Houston Republican Liberty and Vanguard, you can click on our Facebook event for this, and it is there's an Eventbrite link in there where you can click and use a debit card or a credit card. That will go to us, and then we will bundle it all together, what we have so far and what you give, and we will give it to him directly right after. So thank you so much again. Oh, okay, cool. So there is a way for you to do it on here as well. That's just the
It's on our. You can go to www.jointherlc.gop and then click on the Facebook event. The Facebook GOP. Join the RLC.gop. Go to that site. I'm just gonna go check that Carmona, but at least I want you to get some recognition. Yeah, I think they saved the system. They won't know.
And guys, I gotta tell you, if y'all want shirts or yard signs, we do have some of those. We'll go bring them in a minute. Everybody wants one who doesn't have one. Let us know and we'll get y'all one. We have medium, large, and extra large. Small, we'll get those maybe next month. We gotta get a rush order.
Read more?
Has been very, very generous in their printing for us. I called on Tuesday when I was out of shirts. I had them ready yesterday at noon. There's no screen charge, no press charge.
Go back. And just scroll down. Just scroll down. Wait. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Click on that.
Yeah, that's we could have almost people out there that don't know the church.
See what it says?
This is the worst because I've ever applied for it. 10 to 12, they're going to be block walking, and then 12 to 2, they're going to have to
If anyone needs help finding the Eventbrite link to pay with a credit card, ask me. What? When it did hit back twice. If you hit back twice, it'll probably be back to the page. Now you're logged in. Facebook. It's always the same again. There's a lot of stuff. Right? Oh, look at that. Good pickup. Probably 8%. Is that the same when you do? You say that Eventbrite charge? I never got that. How much was it? 159. One? 159. Don't even 150. So $9. So it's 4%. I never had Is that the same? Is that like normal for like even on their campaign website? I don't know. Probably someone else getting paid. Even his website? Yeah, probably. No, he doesn't have a way to make a contribution, so he's going to hire someone else to set up on his website. If you make a contribution to join the HRLC.com, the website that we use gets the money from it. This is our first fundraiser ever. I just can't help it. Can't help I'll probably pay first week.
Huh?
I'll pay first week.
Online? Awesome.
3 of them.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. That there, it's going. It doesn't go to any other cause, but it's the same thing whether you donate online or donate via envelope. Same thing. Sorry.
So that he knows he matches.
Oh yeah. Well, it's gonna be all pooled together, and then he's gonna match it. So I'll make sure of it. I'll make sure he matches.
I don't know if any of you guys shoot plays. Shoot plays. Okay. I have braces. So we're having a fundraiser as a group in February and January.
Oh.
I've never done it.
I might have played. I was like,
The hammer. Okay, someone hand me a hammer. I'm going to that play. My hands are a gun. Hands are shotgun. So there's that play. The whole thing.
I say something that he's got to go. You got to be the one.
Make my night come better.
I
You want to come, we'll love to have you. Well, we need to have more fun.
Hey, as long as Dick Cheney's not there.
Move it down the invite.
Count me in.
I'll go next year.
Just so y'all know, y'all can get the envelopes from Chris's mother right
It's going to you know, and also the thing is, they can build a shirt, make the shirts, and then we'll sell it, and then they go to the college to build so that they can go money for go to school and go to high school. Also, who have you got to make donations from? It was just going to be so fun. Like KCR, your grandparent or someone that's a big donation, and then you have to make calls just as you made for the party. And I'm telling you from my experience, having done something very similar. If you don't make calls, it doesn't matter how much emails you send out, how many times you post on Facebook, the phone calls really matter. I mean, not that what we want to do is we want to start small. And that's why, because we're only thinking about start small, pilot test how to work, because but also give them education and but they have the parents we don't want parents that are just going to be fighting with it because they're don't like education. Because the idea is conservative values will give anybody successfully through. And that when it's proven time and time again, it shows and principles. It's what's holding, especially my own best. We have the volunteers that will be students are really going to enjoy that. If your students and you finally get it going, you're really going to enjoy that. Especially if you can throw like a car in there, some machine shop, then you get like all in. Like, the other company that she's helping grow, of course we have a print screen printer.
and the mayor belt, the UFC belt. We actually